What's up, everybody? Thanks for coming back to another episode on the Healing Arts Apothecary. This is part 2 of working with the herbs and understanding just like how they can help assist us, especially when we're experiencing different types of emotions. And this series, or this second part of the series, is all about anxiety and what can help us when we're feeling really anxious. So in the first part, we talked a lot about like when energy can be stuck or when energy can just really be overwhelming when it's like sitting on your chest. And I recommended hawthornberry. And while that's not the only herb that can help, or, the herbs that I'm going to continue talking about are not the only herbs that help support this. These are the ones that really stepped forward when I asked, like, what wanted to be spoken about, what wanted to be shared, and how. And same thing with today's episode, with the herb that we're going to talk about today. The episode for today, we're talking about the physical aspect of anxiety. So we're going to talk a little bit about the nervous system. We're going to talk about like physical effects of anxiety. So headaches, stomach aches, like things like that. So this herb that I am going to be talking about in just a minute covers and supports all of that. So I think of anxiety, like I said, it's pretty multifaceted. Like there's a couple of different components to really talk about. And this is a part of just like sharing what I know this far on the journey, because I'm always continuing to learn. That this is just one of those herbs that can really help with the physical aspect. It's one of my favorites to talk about. And for those of you that are new here, my name is Angelica, and I'm an intuitive medium and a lifelong student of the shamanic arts. And I have been studying the herbs for the past few years, and I will continue to forever because they have just dramatically supported, drastically changed my life and deeply supported my journey, just physically, spiritually, mentally, all bodies here, covering everything. So today, as we talk about the nervous system and we talk about anxiety and what that can really, how that affects that, we're going to be talking about the linden tree and the linden herb. So I don't know if you guys can see this. This right here, I don't know if I even remember how I stumbled upon linden. I think it was in like one of the first classes as I was studying the herbs. This one called to me like right away, and I've been working with it ever since. Let's talk a little bit about anxiety and the nervous system first, and then I'll discuss linden and why I decided to talk about it on here. The nervous system, when we're in a really anxious space, when we're in fight or flight, or when we're in a really activated, reactive space, it's really, really taxing on the nervous system, and we start to go into that fight or flight space. And what happens is our nerves like become shot. So whether we understand like why we're having a really reactive moment or like a really anxious moment or not, it doesn't really truly matter. But what does matter is getting us out of that sympathetic space where we're like in the fight or flight and into the parasympathetic, so we can start to relax. Because what actually happens, I'm playing catch with my dog, what actually happens is the stress that it puts on, it affects our digestion, it affects our mental capacity. And over time, it can really disrupt like our memory. Like sometimes we might then start to forget things. We get really tired, we get really overworked. And then we're like in this really frazzled space. God, I had been there for a while, especially when I was deep in some healing a couple of years ago. But you get almost like irritable, scared, maybe you're stuck in fear, overwhelm. And it's just a really like uncomfortable space to be in. You might even have like physical symptoms of like stomach aches or headaches because of how severe like the anxiety and the tension is on the nervous system and on the body. It really disrupts like the flow of energy, and we go into fight or flight. So the mind can only see like survival at that point. So linden is actually another nervine, and as I previously sort of mentioned in the last one, nervines are some of my favorite to work with, just day to day, and just especially on the healing journey because of like long-term effects. And not all nervines actually support like long-term repair. There's some of them that do over the others. Linden, from what I understand, is one of those herbs. So what linden is actually going to do is going to gently calm you in the moment. So like if you're really activated in the moment and you need something to calm you down, it is actually going to like take off that sharpness of the anxiety. It's going to help the body relax. It's actually anti-spasmodic. I hope I'm saying the word correctly, but it actually relaxes the muscles. So this herb is actually phenomenal to use during your menstrual cycle if you have cramps. It's incredible if you have like IBS or like stomach aches or spasms that come from, well, anything really, digestion, food, things like that, but also like nerves. So this is a really, really beautiful herb to support the relaxing of the GI tract, the relaxing of the muscles, and it's calming you in the moment, like I said, and this one does repair over time. But what I actually love about this herb is the tree is so beautiful, and this is safe to use like for anyone in the family. So this is safe to use with kids, with the elderly, with adults, with that whole, like literally all generations of people. And it really helps support when you have like your heart racing, when you like need to slow down. It actually like mildly slows down blood pressure, so it can just help like calm the heart down a little bit. And again, this is on the physical side. So it's going to calm down the heart, just kind of bring the blood pressure down a little bit, especially if you're in a fight or flight mode or an anxious mode. And this herb is actually used a lot in skincare. So if you actually go to Europe, it's like used in a lot of creams and moisturizers. And what I love about it is the floral notes that it actually produces. So like even when you smell it here, there's like a sweetness to it. It's, you guys, it's like my favorite. I can't recommend this enough. There's a sweetness to it. And when you use it in an infusion, like in a tea, it has this like really gentle floral taste. And I'm not big on like floral tastes, but it has this really beautiful floral taste. And the way that I like to work with it is actually when it's cooled off. So like I'll brew it in a warm infusion and then I'll let it cool off and I'll just drink it like either with ice in it or just at room temperature, and I'll just enjoy it throughout the day. Recap this. From a physical standpoint, this is going to help soften up like a racing heart. This is also going to relax the muscles, particularly in the intestinal tract. So if you have a stomach ache or IBS, this is a beautiful infusion or herb to work with. And this is going to help calm the nerves. So from like a spiritual or an energy or an emotional standpoint, this herb really has been used to treat the heart again. So like this is really good for people who have anxious tendencies or those that are overwhelmed or overworked. Like this one can really help replenish. And what I have found on my journey with it is because it has that floral like essence to it, it really, really brings in a beautiful, feminine, delicate energy. And what I love about Linden is you can drink it throughout the day. So like chamomile, I love chamomile. I actually love chamomile and Linden together with a little bit of lavender in it. Talk about like a nervine cocktail right there. But Linden, even just on its own, isn't going to make you drowsy. So like chamomile will knock me out. Like chamomile will take me out. It's something I can only drink during the day or like when I'm actively relaxing, like on the couch, because I will fall asleep or I'll just be super relaxed. Linden, while it has a really gentle calming effect, it doesn't like knock me out like chamomile would. So if you're still looking for something like to drink throughout the day, this is going to bring a beautiful, relaxing energy, and it's going to support the heart space and just like re-energizing the life force, the energy within you, and really help to kind of calm and release the anxiety and the tension without making you like super sleepy. So how do I prepare this? So I mentioned it a little bit before, but if you were just working with Linden on its own, I would work with either 2 teaspoons or 1 tablespoon in another pot of water. You know, it can be as much as you want. I always like to make extra. So let's say 32 ounces of water, and steep it for about 5 minutes, 7 minutes, and you can remove the Linden from the water. Like I said, I like to let it cool off. I actually find that it tastes just a little bit better. Not that it tastes bad warm. It's just like a little more gentle when it's cooled off. You can add some ice to it and you can enjoy it as like an iced tea. Sorry if you see my dog in the back. She's she's burying her ball and then she's trying to find it and then she gets all excited that she found the ball. So here's her ball. So as I said, letting it cool off. If you do have lavender, oh my gosh, Linden and lavender is like probably one of my all-time favorite teas. I would do like, let's say a tablespoon of linden and just like a couple of sprinkles of lavender. Lavender, as you guys know, goes a long way. So I would like let that infuse for 7 minutes. And then I would remove it and then I would let it cool off and enjoy the tea. It's so, so yummy. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. I cannot recommend Linden enough, especially for anxiety, tension, headaches, stomach aches, like all of that. And if you're just looking for something to like uplift you energetically and physically, Linden, because of its beauty and its femininity and it's just like warmth, like it blossoms in the summertime around the summer solstice, which is coming up. So like imagine the energy that it provides and brings to you energetically and physically when it's blooming on like the longest day of the year with like the most amount of sun. Like it's going to bring that warmth, it's going to bring that joy. Summer is all about movement and laughter and life force and being outside and feeling the warmth and just like enjoying the vitality of life. So think about that when you're like going to work with the linden. While it is relaxing, it is also uplifting in a really gentle way. So I can't recommend it enough. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for part 3. I have a couple more herbs that I'm going to be talking about, and I hope you're enjoying it. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll see you on the next one.